So to talk about the complexities of industry and specifically how do you deploy connected devices at scale and how do you manage the whole mess that eventually creates, we have our next startup, which mission is to do IoT system integration and SaaS platforms to support the blockchain technologies that allow the glue of all that information and all those data. So to talk about that, I want to welcome our first startup of the blog, CEO of at AirTrace, Juan Bautista Tomás. I think you're missing something.
Oh, that's true, that's true. Thank you very much, Alex. So, one word, mankind. This is us. Wonder how we got this level of progress so far? Just because of something. Cooperation, also known as interoperability. In fact, that's AirTrace, our SaaS platform for allowing any IoT device in the world to integrate blockchain in an easy way. In fact, it basically works this way. We allow IoT system integrators as well as IoT system platforms to integrate blockchain technology in an agile and very scalable manner with very competitive pricing, both by using a visual approach with our user-friendly user interface, as well as by using our very advanced cutting-edge SDKs, as you can see right back. But the thing is that AirTrace is not only that, because we love data quality. The thing is that we use very advanced anomaly detection algorithms to assure data reliability. But what about now the global market share? The thing is that, according to several statistics, by the end of 2026, it will be worth $6 billion globally. And our business model is straightforward, transactional based. Basically, let's take this example. 30 clients, 30 daily transactions. And with $1 worth each transaction, it will be worth $27,000 a month. With already having these clients working with us, as you can see here, with one more that was actually added last week, and already validated thanks to all these European-wide non-dilutive grants that helped us reach nearly 200,000 euro in just 8 months. It was possible thanks to this team of experts. One of my friends are here, and by coupling both the commercial strategy on the left side of the slide and also the technical part, as you can see with my colleagues in the right part of the slide. Our ambition, we want to grow very much in traction towards the end of this year, and in parallel, we will work in our first investment round by seeking $1 million that will be mostly devoted to increasing our setup of clients and also by fostering marketing and sales mostly. Thank you very much for your attention. If you want to grow with us, just let us have a coffee with you.
Well done, my friend. Okay, judges, do we have any questions? That was quick.
Hi, thank you for the pitch. Really impressive, the track record in such a short time. Quick question on what is the the key benefits for customers of your technology?
Basically, we're talking about added value cybersecurity measurements in the sense that, for example, about having blockchain is not only storing data in an immutable database that no one can change it, but also because we make sure that that data before having it in the blockchain is reliable enough so that whenever there is checkout of this data after storing in the blockchain, one can make sure that it is reliable enough. Let's put an example to have a better insight. In the future, I mean, just now, there are so many devices measuring data that if no one can assure in the next future some way to verify its trustworthiness, then we have a problem. So the most important value is not only blockchain, but also the cybersecurity-based approach by which we somehow make the data stored in the blockchain much more reliable.
Thank you.
Okay, well, Juan, thank you very much. Big applause for Juan. Thank you for opening the blog. Next one, Kit AR? Oh, okay, see, they sold me here, okay? I got it right? I got it right. Please tell them I got it right. Okay, well, you're already here. So please welcome Manuel Oliveira, CEO of Kit AR.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Kit AR is an industrial augmented reality platform that not only shows the workers what they need to do on the shop floor, but we actually verify if what they've done is done correctly. In essence, we're solving the problem of the missing bolt. Now, this doesn't seem like much, but if you're in a plane 31,000 feet above the ground, you don't want that window falling down. So to avert disasters, whether small or big, we decided to combine man and machine to address the cost of poor quality. Welcome to the 21st century in manufacturing. How big is this problem? Well, if you look at the market, which is worth around 35 trillion US dollars, manufacturing companies lose between 5 to 40% of their revenue sorting out the cost of poor quality. Research also shows that by 2030, there's going to be a lack of 1.9 million workers, which will translate to a loss of productivity of 1 billion US dollars. Now, how do we solve this? Well, we're a software platform that has 4 components. With Kit Build, you create knowledge-based instruction sets. Then you use the Kit Assist that you can deliver those instruction sets with high-precision holograms and tailored to the context of the worker. Meanwhile, it's supported by Kit Smart modules that do the verification if the quality is done correctly, if the parts are all there, if they didn't do any mistakes. And then with the Kit Insight, we're gathering all this data to do quality traceability and at the same time derive insights to do continuous process optimization. Now, our potential market is close to 50 billion euros in the US and in Europe, but we have had already a demand for other markets. But we're going to focus now to what we know best, which is manufacturing. Now, our business model is one, we're foremost a software company, a platform that is based on our strategy to be SaaS. And with that, we will be able to reduce the time that it takes for adoption, increase our market reach, and with a partnership model, we will be able, by 2027, have 60% of our revenue being recurrent. I couldn't do this without an extraordinary team. We're 14 people. 4 out of our 5 co-founders hold PhDs in augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and process mining. But above all, we all share a passion for augmenting the worker on the shop floor. These are some of our milestones that we had. Most recently, we did secure our first customer for recurring revenue in the automotive sector, and we are closing our seed round, which allows us to achieve these next milestones with the final product launch this year, the SaaS, it being fully SaaS next year, which will allow us to hit the target of 1 million ARR and the US market launch the subsequent year. At this moment, we are looking for early adopters and strategic investors that have strong ties to the industry. It's finished.
Very good. Obrigado. Okay, see, it wasn't my bad, but I'll explain in a second. Judges, questions, please. There we go. Because we have extra time, we can get another question. So if any judge wants to add up, please.
No, congratulations on the pitch. Could you tell us a bit more about what is the key differentiation against other competitors in the market?
Yep, that's a very good question. The first thing is that when we create the instruction sets, it's based on the process. It's not just on the 3D model. So you can have an engineer with a low-code interface design the process, and it gives you the necessary context to make the machine learning problem tractable. So it's not just based on, here's an image, we're actually doing object recognition and say, okay, in this instruction, I want to check if those screws are there, if the sealant is well applied here, and you're doing it based on knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We can get an extra question, so if we have any judge, there we go.
How is the onboarding process for the employees that will use this platform or these devices?
Very good question. Are you asking now or how we plan it to be?
How will,
Because
how will be this process?
Okay. Right now, it does involve onboarding in the sense that we have to work. That's why we raised the investment. Because right now we have internal tools to create the instruction sets. And we need to create the kit build to be with low code. So right now, we go there, work with the customer, create the process, and then make it available. Our plan with the release of the kit build is they start creating their own instruction sets. And this will be available from the beginning of next year after our full product launch. And therefore, then the cycle of doing the uptake is drastically reduced from something that now can take anything between a month to 2, depending on the complexity.
Short.
But down to 2 weeks.
There you go. See? You can do it.
Yeah, I know, but I was nearly finishing.
Please, big applause for Manuel. Muito obrigado, my friend. Thank you very much. And first of all, my excuse for that little glitch, they literally told us that they weren't coming 10 minutes ago. That's why kind of we skipped. So you're not going to see that. Sorry about that. Anyhow, we're going to make it because the next company is actually pretty cool. Someone was telling me, it's like, gosh, someone put a robot on stage, and now everyone wants to put robots on stage, which I think it's absolutely very cool. So if anyone wants to bring more robots, please bring them on stage. And we're solving something that, and they are solving something that's really dramatic and it's happening more and more, which is how do you make the agriculture more efficient? How do you increase the harvesting speed? How do you increase the energy efficiency? There are no more farmers. Who here wants to be a farmer? Anyone? Who wants to retire from tech and say, I'm done with this? I have a vineyard. See, there's someone, right? I have a vineyard. Another one. Come on, don't be shy. Raise your hand. There you go, another one. See? We're going to end up with everyone raising their hands here, okay? We have plenty of farmers ready to help. Anyhow, because that's not the big majority of people, let's welcome our next company. So from Spain, I want to welcome the CEO of Mi Food Robot, Rubén Miranda.
Hello, everybody. Hi, my name is Rubén Miranda, and I'm the CEO of Mi Food Robot. Our company provides automation and robot-assisted services to the agriculture industry. Our team found a couple of problems in farms. One of those problems is that there's a lot of labor shortages. There are more than 5 million workers needed, and we can also find a lot of food waste that represents 30% of losses for farmers, and also CO2 contamination. And agriculture generates 20% of global emissions, as well as toxic pesticides affecting more than 1 billion global workers. So in order to solve all of these problems, our team has developed a solution based on artificial intelligence and machine learning. It's a robot that collects and harvests food items in farms faster and more energy efficient than human workers. The salary is also up to 3 times faster, and it also generates 70% less CO2 emissions. And the cost is much lower than the salary of a human worker, and only it costs $99 per month. And we also offer direct sale to our clients. The market size is very big. There are more than 5 billion daily consumers, and the agriculture industry is 8% of the world GDP. Only the survey market is $120 million. Our company has a good impact in this industry, and we also contribute to the following goals of the United Nations. Zero hunger, because we increase the total food produced in the world, and also good health and well-being, because we reduce injuries for the workers, responsible production, because we reduce food waste and rotten fruit, climate action, we also reduce CO2 emissions while harvesting, because the robot is 100% electric, a difference with the tractors, and life on land, because we promote sustainable use of farmlands. In this market, we already have competitors, automated with a value of $35 million, but the robots are very slow, and off harvest, the robots are very expensive. So here is the competitive advantage. Our robots are faster and also more affordable for the farmers. This is the team. I'm the CEO, I'm an engineer, and my co-founder Brandon from the United States is in charge of acquiring new clients, and also Felicidad. is the expert in business development. Our CTO, Carlos, is in charge of developing the vision system to detect more crops. And this is the roadmap. We have the robot ready. We're harvesting more than 10,000 pieces per day. By the 2022, we expect to install 20 more robots. We're planning our US expansion by 2023, and also to harvest 50 million fruits per day by 2024, and file for an IPO in the stock market the next year. These are our financial projections. We expect to generate 254,000 euros in revenue. And we already fundraised $210,000 from San Francisco, Silicon Valley, and also we are targeting $300,000 more to manufacture 20 robotic arms and 20 batteries. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. If you're interested to meet us, you can come to the stage and to our stand, 68. Thank you very much.
Booyah! I thought the robot was going to move.
I let ask her, because we can connect it. But
that's too much.
They didn't let us connect.
They're going to kill me.
Yeah,
if we connect it.
Me too.
Anyhow, Q&A, questions, please. There we go. Mics? Mic'sy? Do we have mics? There we go.
Thank you. Thanks so much. How has it been the experience of placing such a complex system that requires calibration, adaptation in terms of the fruit, to such a traditional area and to farmers?
Sure. So actually, we're very thankful to the EIT Food for providing the first clients that we got, and we feel very excited every time we go to a farm. And we like to help farmers to make more money, increase their revenue, reduce labor costs, and also reduce CO2 emissions, bringing innovation to this very traditional industry.
Do you need investor workers? We have a bunch of candidates here. They can help you.
Yeah, definitely. We can talk later.
Please, big applause for Ruben. Thank you very much, guys. I don't know if we're going to take Alice here. So we're starting here in Spain, and we're dealing with something I would say very complex. Not a lot of people actually know it, but I'm pretty sure you've heard something around that. How many of you know who DeepMind is, the company, DeepMind? Raise your hands. DeepMind, most? Really? DeepMind, raise your hands. Pretty high, so I can see it. So I'll tell you who, no, wow. So DeepMind is a company that Google acquired some years ago, and they're probably one of the most advanced AI institutes and companies in the world. And among the many things that you've probably heard from them is they design artificial intelligence that was capable of winning at the game of Go. You've probably heard that one, right? AlphaGo. So among the other things they've done is precisely use that artificial intelligence in the chemistry industry, in the protein folding problem. How do we create new compounds, new proteins? And this is a problem that is massive. All our drug industry, all the chemicals that we have that issue. And obviously, they're not the only ones doing that. And I want to welcome their contenders doing an incredible thing in that space. Deep tech startup specialized in what we call computational chemistry to accelerate chemical design. Please welcome our super machine learning expert, the CEO of Nextmol, Mónica Demier.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. We are Nextmol, a startup company specialized in computational chemistry, spin-off from the Barcelona Supercomputing Center, and we develop a SaaS platform to accelerate the R&D of better and more sustainable chemicals. Our world constantly needs new, better, and more sustainable chemicals to solve challenges such as sustainable mobility or the production of clean energy. But do you know how much time elapses since the initiation of research until commercialization of a new chemical? So typically more than 10 years. And why so long? So until now, the R&D of new chemicals has been done exclusively in the laboratory. However, the lab requires to synthesize its new idea of molecule before it can be characterized. It's based on a trial and error approach that requires a large number of tests before arriving to the molecule with the desired properties, and it barely allows for automation. So in the current context of increasing competition and shorter product life cycles, this is too slow and inefficient. So our solution is a virtual lab for digital R&D where instead of synthesizing and testing a molecule in the laboratory, simulations and artificial intelligence allow to characterize these molecules directly on the computer and automate the entire process. In this way, only the most promising candidates go to the lab. We have developed a proprietary technology focused on surface and interface phenomena. These phenomena appear in many chemical applications, for example, in detergents, in cosmetics, in lubricants. And we offer this technology through our software as a service platform that provides molecular modeling and artificial intelligence tools for designing new chemicals. All computations are executed in the cloud, and calculations can be conducted by people, by users not experts in computational chemistry. So by using our platform, our customers get a reduction in cost by a factor of almost 9 in 3 years compared to the traditional approach in the laboratory, a reduction in testing time by a factor of 5, an important reduction of raw material usage and waste generation, and a deep understanding of the behavior of the molecules that leads to more patent filling. Our customers are a specialty chemicals company. Clariant, L'Oreal, and Repsol are our current customers, and below you can see some potential customers that are currently in our pipeline. So we sell the platform through our B2B sales force worldwide with a premium positioning, and the access to the platform is by subscription with different pricing plans depending on the computational resources needed. We are a team of 8 people, where 60% hold a PhD, and with a strong focus on R&D and product development. So the future of chemistry is now. Thank you very much.
Well done, Monica. Well done. I just want to point something that some people keep forgetting. How long have you been working on this?
2 years and a half.
No, before, I mean, doing the research.
Well, in research, decades.
Decades. Say it again.
Decades of research.
Decades. I just want to put this into perspective. We're too used to deal with startups that, hey, we went for a weekend to a hackathon and now we've launched our app. Decades, okay? Please, thank you. Judges, questions, please. Yeah, you know what? Big applause for those decades, please. It is impressive.
Hello, congratulations for the presentation. And I'd ask, I've seen in the team everyone is scientific. Do you have any plan for the go-to-market strategy? What will be the next steps?
Yes, so next steps is to raise a funding round to push the commercialization of the product. So at the end of the year, we will raise a funding round and build this sales, B2B sales team and reinforce the product development. So it's true, we are quite technical and scientific team, and I am the one devoted to focus on business, and the next stage is this sales reinforcement.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Big applause for Monica. Thank you very much for being here. So anyone that wants to quit their marketing job, talk to Monica, please. So we're moving, this time we're flying to Germany for a company that I'm also very excited about. Again, you'll see the thread here, or the commonality. But have you ever thought, you know, we hear a lot about climate change, sustainability. Have you ever thought and how we take care of the forests? Do you know how we do that? Have you ever thought about how do we, you know, plant new trees? How do we fight fires? How do we clean the forest? Ever thought about that? Yeah? I'll tell you, in most cases, it's done by hand, pen and paper. There's this guy called Antonio that goes to a tower and goes like, oh, hey, there's a fire over there, okay? It is still very, very, very archaic. It doesn't deploy extensive new technology, and precisely to change that, I hope that you convince them. I want to welcome our next startup, as I said, all the way from Germany, using information from space with their own satellites in low orbit to help maintain and provide data intelligence for the sustainability of Earth. Please welcome the co-founder and CEO of Aurora Tech, Thomas Gruber. Big applause.
Hello, everyone. I'm Thomas, co-founder and CEO of Aurora Tech, a data and new space intelligence company headquartered in Munich, Germany. Our planet has fever. This fever costs us 5% of global GDP. Plus, this means this is $4.3 trillion every year. And there's no planet B, so we need to take care of that. The central number in this fever is the temperature. And to react on it, to react on the climate, to build up climate resilience, and react on the impacts of climate change, we need to measure the temperature in real time all the time. So we take the temperature of the Earth globally, so everywhere, every 30 minutes. And we have now shrunken the technology to do this from requiring huge satellites, so at the size of a truck or a car, down to the size of a shoebox. We have built such a small satellite equipped with a thermal infrared imager, which is capable of monitoring the full Earth. And we have launched the satellite to space already, and therefore have proven that the technology works also in space. Additionally, because you need to understand to work with the data, we have launched a vertically integrated AI analytics platform which provides insights, so thermal insights to our clients. And there's one product we're already in the market, and this is Wildfire Intelligence. Why? Wildfires account for about 17% of global CO2 emissions. Therefore, the number one we need to change. We take data from public satellites, ground-based data, fuse the data in our core, and provide the actionable insight to the clients, which means in this special case, they are able to launch a firefighting plane. And tomorrow, we're extending this data, which we have now from public satellites, with our own data to provide the real-time alert globally. And this enables us already to be market leader globally in space-based wildfire detection. We're now protecting 160 million hectares of forest globally, and are very quick in expansion there. But we don't stop with wildfire intelligence only. So actually having this unique data set of high-resolution, timely thermal infrared data enables to secure a huge fraction of the global data analytics, Earth observation data analytics market. Therefore, we are spreading with this data intelligence technology into several use cases and building them up afterwards. So now it's open for you to join our next Series B round with up to 25 million. We're already lined up a few investors and are now looking to complete the round. Reach out to me via the events app or via the contact details, and I'm happy for your questions. Thank you.
Dankeschön. Vielen Dank, Thomas. Okay, so judges, questions. Here we go, Unai.
Thank you. Quick question. Out of curiosity, do you design and operate the full satellite, or just the payloads with the specific? I guess you have your own sensor technology that you have developed.
Yeah. So the USB is definitely the payload. So our own technology is the thermal infrared camera that attach AI processing, the algorithms to get actually more insights out of the camera than just from the optics alone. Currently, we don't operate the satellites on our own, but our team is very experienced on this, has launched 4 satellites before. So in the long term, we probably also, we are going to operate the satellites also on our own.
And 30-minute revisit time, so that's very impressive.
Yeah.
The AI, is it on board, or do you have that sort of on the ground and source the images to then process it on?
That's a good question, and that's the important thing behind. We process the data on board already. On the one hand, are able to increase even the resolution with post-processing, plus detect heat events like fires directly. And therefore, we don't need to wait to downlink the data, although we downlink all the data. We don't need to wait. We get the information within 3 minutes to the clients.
Impressive. Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Thank
we
you.
are good on time, so if we have an extra question, we can take one more.
Thank you very much for being here. My name is Aitor from Cardumen Capital. Very fast, two little things. One, on the commercial side, I understand that fire departments are usually public or semi-public entities in many countries, so I would like to see, or to know just by curiosity, how your commercial team tackles that. And a second thing, really fast, and on the data acquisition from satellites, I understand that there are already public or private satellites with infrared cameras or hyperspectral or thermal, different sensors. So I would like to understand why you are using your or planning to use your own satellites instead of using the ones that are already deployed. Thank you.
So commercially, in the wildfire scene, we see that also public entities are changing, also using private software, private services, where it's so the first public entities were partly closed with credit cards, so the business in Europe is different than overseas. We also work together with partners like Rosenbauer, which are very good in bringing fire trucks to the public entities. Therefore, we go directly. In Europe, we go directly via ESA and the European Commission, where we're on track getting a European Commission ESA contract in selling the data directly. So there are different approaches dependent on the region, like South America, where also the other South Summit is taking place. We mainly have just private customers. They own 1 million hectares of forest, have their own fire brigade, do everything on their own. This brings also quite a lot of traction and also knowledge, which then spills back to the public authorities. The other question is also very fast. Good. We use all existing data that's already possible. So we use all the public satellites you can get. We have 22 integrated now, and now it gets really complex to find new satellites on this. But it's not enough because there's a huge, first of all, the data has a 2 hours delay. So when the satellite sees the picture, it needs 2 hours that we are actually able to process the data and inform someone. So sometimes it's too late, especially in Spain, for example, not in South America or most times. On the other hand, there's
no more
also
hands.
lack of data in the afternoon.
That's it.
No more hands. So
that's it. Big applause for Thomas. Thank you. Thomas, the next time the answer is very easy. It's like, why do you do your own satellites? Because it's fucking cool. Come on. I mean and Elon is going to destroy the other half. So you want to have backup just in case. Anyhow, we are moving back to Spain, but in this case, to tackle a problem that I think most of us have experienced during the pandemic, which is when you have to work remotely, when you have to move your whole digital environment into the cloud, is not that easy. You have all these tiny little pieces that have to work together. Well, our next company precisely solves that. How do you deploy virtual PCs at scale anywhere in the world for classes, for a huge corporation, for a whole group of people, for a new project that you're deploying that you need specific digital resources? Well, how do you do that? Well, the next company has a solution, and I'm very pleased and very happy to welcome our next speaker, CEO of Simple Cloud, Olivier Wolf. Good to see you, sir.
Cloud computing is the future, there is no doubt about it, but even for the most complex needs, in manufacturing, in industry, in engineering, in construction. But the cloud is complex. It requires experts that integrate lots of different pieces all together and need to create redevelopment. That is where automation is key. At Simple Cloud, we create completely automated work environments in the cloud with configurable virtual PCs. As you can see here, an engineer is creating live an environment for his team and for contractors, selecting the OS, selecting commercial or proprietary software, as well as selecting the profile of virtual machines and the graphic capacity that he requires for his tasks. He can select security protocols and even schedule the different times when this is going to be accessed from anywhere around the world. And people can work all together as if they were in the same office. By clicking Create, Now is the environment ready to produce? Well, we have a unique no-code platform. A team leader creates his entire workspace in just 15 minutes with no IT support. And team members connect from basic devices in just 60 seconds to the most powerful virtual machines needed and work fully collaboratively as if they were together. The key benefits is it's simple to set up, it's simple to use, and it offers simple flexibility. It saves time and IT resources. It saves on cost and turns CapEx into OpEx. We are blessed to be recognized by our clients all around the world, but also by leading experts. And we are on the fastest segment of remote work and cloud computing, providing high-performance services as well. We have a fully customizable environment for each individual company and provide collaboration and security environments in industry, research, government, but also for the most demanding tasks needing the biggest power. We have a unique selling proposition, which is linked to our unique and user-focused and time to market, thanks to our level of automation and collaboration. We are global, thanks to IBM Cloud, and we are ready to scale up. We are focused on developing the best platform and are leveraging today a global reseller network. We are the only Spanish company in the IBM Cloud catalog globally and partner with global sales integrators. We have a clear SaaS business model with metrics and are here to grow fast. And we have a team of experts. Now is the time for us to accelerate our global deployment. We are looking here for long-term partners, from resellers, if you are system integrators, or if you've got problematics, come and see us. And we are looking for a 2 million to complement a round for which we have already 4 million. Ready to answer all your needs and partner with you. Thank you.
Olivier, great job. Judges, questions for Olivier? Microphones, please.
Thank you. How is it a simple cloud different from other, for instance, cloud management platforms where you can provision all the resources on the computing and on the storage space?
It is all linked to the philosophy of the platform, which is based on the end user, and to the automation process. We are in pitches against very large hyperscaler at the moment, where the client is not going to see a model before 3-4 weeks, when he has one up and running from us, fully customized, already in hand, after 15 minutes. It's the automation.
Which you can have also in platforms like Cloudify, for instance. So is there a big difference there?
Yes, because we provide many more layers of collaboration. Cloudify is on the chart, but we have much more deeper collaboration layers where you can integrate the task of thousands of people globally in real time. We have VFX pipelines, for instance, which can be customized per industry to answer very specific needs. Thank you.
Do we have any other questions? That side of the table? There we go.
Thank you for the presentation. You mentioned that you rely on the IBM cloud.
Yes.
So are you planning to scale this solution to other clouds, Amazon, Google, or so on, or there's a restriction there?
There is no restriction. We are very proud of our partnership with IBM because they've been extremely present and helping us to scale up fast. We are the only European solution in this workspace. We are built on bare metal server, so we are not dependent and open for the relevant collaboration, but proud for all the solutions that IBM is giving us. And also unique advantages in terms of predictability of cost, which do not exist with the other hyperscaler.
Thanks.
Okay, Olivier, thank you very much. Big applause for you. Big applause for Simple Cloud. I must confess, by the way, I've seen the videos of that thing working, and it's actually quite impressive. As a technician, it's like, whoa, and it does all that stuff at the same time, and you don't have to touch things. It's like magic. That's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. And last but not least, we have our last startup of the block before we all die of heat here. See, it's getting warmer, huh? I told you. It can keep going up. Hopefully, it will stay like this. And we're going, I was going to say we're going back to Spain. We're staying in Spain, but we're going back to space. We're going back to low orbit with a company that on the one hand, I love because it's space technology. On the other hand, I love because his founder is an incredible person. Incredible track records. You cannot say this of many people. It's like, what did you do before? I launched rockets. It's like, what again? I launched rockets. And before that, I worked at European Space Agency. It's like, what again? Every time I ask them, it's like, how can I get to work with you people? It's like, yeah, it's easy. You just need a PhD in aerospace or NASA background. It's like, easy, easy peasy. And precisely, he's going to come today with his new company, which is really interesting, which is, you know, when you throw things into space, you can do two things. Either throw them like a rock and pray you don't need to move them afterwards, or get a massive satellite, throw it into space, and it will cost you a lot of money to have enough propellant to actually move the thing in space. Well, what we're going to hear now is actually the middle way. Can we actually develop high-quality, efficient propellants, green propellants to move smaller satellites in space at scale? Well, that's exactly what our next startup is about. So please welcome my very good friend, Francho Garcia, CEO and co-founder of Arcadia Space.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the introduction. You hear me well? Well, let's gonna finish with some fireworks or with some rocket science. But first, you know this guy? Of course you know. I mean, among all the incredible things he has done, he has decreased drastically the cost of launching satellites into space. And with this, he's making the sector much more affordable and, the most important thing, commercial. Now there are more and more companies that are launching and developing business plans with the satellites. And at the end, what they do with this? To provide data and services that we all use every day. And to provide this data and these systems and services, they need to move in space. How? With engines. And now, Houston, we have a problem. Traditional engines were designed more than 50 years ago, and they do not meet the needs of the market of today. Furthermore, they use very toxic and carcinogenic propellants, and they make the development and the operation of these engines extremely costly. This is not an option. But this is why we are here. To develop a new generation of engines, starting from scratch, making use of the most advanced manufacturing techniques. In fact, we got a contract for that with the European Commission, but also using green propellants, in this case, hydrogen peroxide. With this, we also got a contract with the European Space Agency to study how to make space transportation ultra-green. And with all these ingredients, we can reduce up to 60% the cost of these engines. Engines that are extremely needed to sustain and to boost this new satellite economy. This is the family of the engines. Here I have one of them, 5 Newton, 50 Newton, 200 Newton, and I guess you were expecting something much bigger. But no, this can move up to 5-ton satellite. The market we are tackling today, a market that is sized in more than 1 billion by 2030, that will be boosted by all these satellites that will be launched in the next decade, more than 10,000 satellites that will need propulsion. And we're not tackling CubeSats, we're tackling much bigger platforms because it's where the money is. The most important thing, if you are developing thrusters, engines, you need a site to test them. We are the only company in Europe owning a 100% private testing facility. We're actually finishing it, and we will test very soon. What we do at the end, we design, we develop, and we sell engines. We have already signed 7 letters of intent with potential customers, and we expect to have more than $50 million in revenue by 2030. And now, let's talk about the most important thing of the company, the team. We were the ones leading the development of the first liquid rocket engine ever made in Spain, back at our times at PLD Space. We have worked together for more than 6 years. We have a lot of experience, and we come with 2 amazing advisors, Marisol and Franz Salzgeber from the European Space Agency. This is where we are. We closed last year a pre-seed of 3,000K on the Airport of Castellón contract, and now we are developing the minimum viable product to finish this year and to start commercialization and the first launch next year. And for that, we're looking for $1.5 million seed round. And this is all. I hope that you can join us in this challenge, in this space journey. I'm Francho Garcia, co-founder and CEO of Arcadia Space.
Francho, thank you very much, my friend. Wow, you brought the thing.
Yes.
I love that everyone is bringing their thingies. That's very cool. Judges, questions? Oh, this is too far up the sky.
Thanks a lot. What is your planned business model? I understand that's for the future. And what's the type of customer that you feel like you'll have?
The business plan of today is B2B. So companies need engines. We develop engines, and we sell the engines. Which are our customers? All these companies that either develop the platform, develop the satellite, or if they are vertically integrated, they provide the service. In this case, for example, we had AuroraTech. AuroraTech is not only developing the platform, but also providing the service. There are many more companies like AuroraTech developing their solution, because sometimes it's very difficult to find a satellite that is capturing the data you want later to process and to provide a service with. So we are seeing both kind of companies, either commercial companies developing platforms or commercial companies providing the service. We're not tackling the very short-term space agency or traditional markets, because they are very competitive and very difficult to access to. So we will go to emerging companies.
Okay, well, we're out of time, so I'm sorry, is it going to be super short? They're going to kill me. Very short. Go for it.
As a follow-on to what he was asking, so your chart there showed 70, I think, million by 2030. So what was the split of that revenue? Mostly the hardware or the engineering services that's indicated here?
It's mostly the selling of the engines, mostly.
And so these companies are buying how many engines, just on average, just to understand?
By 2030 would be around 300 engines.
Per company. This is what I'm trying to understand. How do you scale with one company? How many engines do they typically buy?
Depending on if it's one-off satellite or if it's a constellation of satellites, can be between maybe 50 engines, 20 engines, depending on the constellation and depending on the service. But recurrently could be maybe for a company every year between 30 and 40 engines.
Great, thank you.
Okay, big applause for Francho, big applause for Arcadia. Thank you very much. Good to see you, my friend.